everybody. Welcome to TFT Tarot for today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And this is me, Oberon, with my outlook on the emotional exchanges. Now, it's a weekly reading for the signs of the zodiac. I read 2 cards for each sign. The first card being the challenge or opportunity presenting itself to you, emotionally speaking. And then the second card is the action required as regards that first card. So as I mentioned, it's for every sign of the zodiac. And I'm using my Modern Love Tarot by Ethany. Art by Lucy Morningstar. So we'll get started right away. Just going to shuffle this deck a little bit more. And if you like astrology related tarot readings, you might want to check out from earlier in the week, Monday, our monthly modality message that Banshee and I did for the modality signs of the zodiac. A lot of things seem to be going on that did speak to our emotional lives there on that. So if you need a little more detail, it's maybe a little broad, but some of it was quite interesting. So like I said, check that out. That's on our YouTube channel. All right, so since we're doing the zodiac, I'm going to start at the very top, which is Aries. So for Aries, what is the challenge or opportunity this week? It's the Devil reversed. Your challenge or opportunity may be to kind of throw off some emotional bondage you may feel, some emotional connection that doesn't serve you as well, whether you feel like, you were enslaved in some ways, or maybe that it just had aspects of a codependent relationship. This may be talking Aries about relationships in particular rather than specifically. So it may not apply to every Aries, but it feels like somebody is challenging the oppression that they may have felt. So then what is the action required? And I'm pulling from the bottom of the deck. And it's the Four of Wands upright. And I think it's saying find a healthier way to invest your time or your energy, maybe in building up the strength of the actual connection you feel with somebody else. Maybe it's somebody who needs to get therapy. Maybe you're guiding them to the house of therapy. I don't know. Whatever works for you, Aries. I think this is just saying continue to free yourself from maybe some psychological dependence by working on things where you kind of have a little bit of a reality feedback loop. I'm just going to put it that in those terms there. So then now we'll move on to the Taurus. And these are good for the sun, moon, or rising signs of the zodiac. So like with the previous Aries reading, if you know that you have a moon or rising sign in Aries, then maybe that pertains a little bit to you too. So anyways, Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, what is the challenge or opportunity coming to you? It's the upright Knight of Swords. I'm going to try to move that a little closer there. So I think you have an opportunity to really move ahead, perhaps on a relationship or issue regarding a relationship. If you're single, this could be talking about, playing the game of the hunt, or at least, kind of moving ahead with your intentions. Knights represent comings or goings of matters, and the swords kind of puts a little bit more of an urgent or even assertive kind of air on it. But sometimes when we feel strong about our emotions, we may feel that way. So Taurus, what is the action required? And it coming from the bottom of the deck, it's another knight, another upright knight. It's the Knight of Cups. And I think it's just saying that remember, as a coming or going of a matter that, uh, this knight projects calmness and kindness forward. But when you look at the image, you sort of feel like somebody who's an equal opportunity, friend or more of sorts. So keep that in mind that just, sometimes you do actually can find a way to be forceful, but also do it with kindness. Be assertive, but be loving. So that actually does sound like Taurus's, to me. All right, so we're going to move on to Gemini, and that's Sun, Moon, or Rising. So, what is the emotional challenge or opportunity? It's the Magician, and I think this is saying, um, a positive minded, serious approach to enacting what you will, what you want to happen. So if you are concerned with emotional relationship that you're in, this could be about the furtherance of that, by maybe being more assertive about where you want the relationship to go. It also applies to maybe a relationship in the making or not quite there too, that this signifies your intent and willpower to kind of, be assertive and make things go along. So, from the bottom of the deck, what is the energy or action required? I guess it's better to say the action required. And I think it's saying don't work from the script. It's the Eight of Pentacles reversed. So I think that's saying that although you might have this idea of approaching things, in a sense of how you assert, this could also be saying too that you're not working from a script, that you're ready to improvise or go off script, as it were, to accommodate the idea of where you're putting your energies, Geminis. That does sound a little bit like a Gemini to me. I hope you don't mind the editorial comments. I'm just going to go along with that. So next we're moving to Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Cancer is the fourth sign of the zodiac. It's a water sign. Okay, so the challenger opportunity is the Emperor. This says that maybe you have to work from a more acknowledged sense of your own leadership here, that maybe this is time for you to maybe project a certain level of control either over this relationship or situation that has relationship overtones. What is the action required? And I think it's saying that you have to it's the Six of Wands upright. And I think this is about saying you have to make sure that you're recognized in your ability or your willingness to project this energy, that you have to figure that out with people, that if they're not really perceiving you this way, that they do come to see that somehow. And so this means maybe emotionally, romantically too. So this could mean that if you're in some sort of unit with or relationship with other people, maybe there's something you need to have control over, but you need to be recognized for that too. And that may be a challenge and an action required as to how you get there. I don't want to be that Cancer. I'm going to let you deal with that. It's kind of weird. So our next up then is Leo. Sun, Moon, or Rising. And we're back to the fire signs with Leo. So the challenge or opportunity for Leos, it's the reversed King of Pentacles. And maybe in terms of how you structure um, the emotional components of your life, and I'm not just saying like necessarily having time for different people in different kinds of relationships, but saying that you have to work on management skills that maybe you haven't really been orderly with your emotional life to the degree that it might be affecting it too. Like, are you always, in touch with people that you need to be? Are you always communicative? Are there extra steps that you normally take in certain relationships that you've been forgetting about? Things like that. So, what is the action required? Well, I might have just give you the tip there, but the action required is the Four of Pentacles upright, and so that action required uh, suggests that maybe you do need to dig into your own values, into your own situations, and examine them a little bit. And maybe that gives you the clue about how to treat others, is about how you wish yourself to be treated. So I'm just going to leave it with that for the Leos, and we'll move on to the Virgos. Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. So, what is the challenge or opportunity? And it's the reversed Page of Pentacles. And I think this is saying that maybe when it comes, Virgo, to your relationships or to your emotionality with other people, that you've been kind of, playing it by the book. You've been kind of reserved in a way, and that maybe your your challenge or opportunity is to be more experiential, Virgo, to maybe rather than just experiencing it through what you read or hear from others, to actually experience things, to sort of come to the outside of yourself or of your own sense of how you interact with things, and really be a little more projective and see how the other half lives. All right, so then the action required is the Eight of Cups, and it's upright. And I think for Virgos, this means that maybe you have to leave behind some things that maybe amount to preconceptions, and you have to move towards what this is really talking about, being a little bit more experiential. It's envisioned here as, looking at through a glass, through a window. In other cards, it's like seeing a light, but like you have to get outside of yourself, Virgo, and look outside of yourself in order to see past where things may be blocking you from that somehow, especially when it's coming to the emotions, is what it looks like, Virgo. So good luck with that. We're going to move on to Libra, and it's Libra for Sun, Moon, or Rising. So the opportunity or challenge is the Five of Pentacles. And on this card, it looks a little drastic, like being left at the altar. The opportunity or challenge maybe is to not be that person, mostly to feel like that if you feel like your connection or your your reason for having an emotional life has somehow deserted you, you need to figure out what is the way to bring them back. What is the action required, Libra? Ooh, it's the upright Queen of Wands. You have to be strong. No matter what happens, you have to be yourself to the best of your abilities. You have to put on the charm. You have to put on the energy of somebody who is maybe looking to further whatever their emotional life is like. If you're single, it's finding the right person, or it's being with a person that makes you feel vivacious and alive. But it could be that too in your own relationship, that maybe you need to find a way, to turn up the heat, turn up the charm within your own relationship. And so this, could apply to that in the sense that the relationship has gone a little bit ghosting in a way, like there's the connection. I already alluded to that, maybe frayed. So, Libras, you have a real challenge awaiting you. And I think it's on you to put on the charm and put on the energy and try to bring the life or the magic back to your emotional life. So we're going to move on to Scorpios then. Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. Let's see if you can do better than some of the previous challenges we've seen. Once again, I am using the Modern Love Tarot by Ethony, art by Lucy Morningstar. It's a beautiful deck. All right, Scorpio, challenge your opportunity. Two of Swords, upright. So from an emotional point of view, there's equality in the relationship, but there isn't really connection. It just sort of feels like you're at cross purposes in a way, that you either have other intentions, and this could apply to a relationship you have now. It could apply to everybody, whether they're in, an emotionally strong relationship or just a more casual one. But if you're seeking a relationship, then maybe you have to examine yourself too and say, what do you really want out of a relationship? Do you want to be, this? So what is the action required? It's the Ten of Swords reversed. And of course, in this deck, the Ten of Swords reversed, the Ten of Swords itself looks like, a real bad end to a relationship. And that would be, equivalent to the Ten of Swords anyways. But it's reversed. And so this could be saying is the action required is is realizing that maybe in a way both of you are to blame, or however many are in the relationship are to blame, that there isn't one person who's at fault, that the evil or the harm being done to a relationship, or if you're a single person in terms of your own personality, these qualities are emanating from either you or both of you, or however many of you. And so, and that sounds very scorpionic, of course, so that's not good. So you have to work on that. So now we are on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, sun, moon, or rising. What is the challenge or opportunity? It's the Knight of Cups. You may be moving towards something new within your relationship. or if you're single, within a potential possible relationships, dating or otherwise. Because this is the modern love tarot, there's a lot of universal quality about this that maybe this isn't suggesting this is a favorable for one particular set of circumstance or not. It's just a good card in general for people who are furthering their relationships, very much emotionally speaking, but that also includes a sense of strong sensuality too, I think. Let's not kid ourselves. I was young once. So, Sagittarius, then, what is the action required? And it's the reversed Five of Cups. And maybe everything old is new again. Maybe this is saying that if you're trying to affect the coming or going of strong emotional bonding, that maybe something about familial situations or purposes, strong friendships or relationships of the past may provide clues, or may be coming back into the picture even for all we know. And maybe that's what this is about then, you know. And in the case of a relationship that already is, maybe it's still good that somebody from the past might be appearing. Maybe there was estrangement between other people for whatever reasons, and I think it's a good card. So that's the Sagittarians. We're going to move on to Capricorn. Capricorn's an earth sign. Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising. What is the challenge or opportunity for Capricorns? And it's star reversed. And this may be like a false start kind of thing, like maybe something you really thought you believed in terms of relationships, something that was, incredibly inspiring and maybe fulfilling in certain ways, and omen, emblematic. You know, you don't feel that way anymore, or you need to put this back into your life somehow, emotionally speaking. The challenge or opportunity is finding your destiny romantically or emotionally speaking. What is the action required? Something is stagnating you. You are feeling extreme emotional stagnation, Capricorns. You have to figure out what it is you need to bring these qualities back. They're really problematic for Capricorns, or people like myself that have moon and rising in Capricorn. You feel like there's something that is just stagnating and preventing you from realizing a sense of purpose, or where you feel your emotional relationships or situations should go. So good luck on finding that. But I think knowing is part of the problem, that maybe you're, because it is death reversed, maybe you're afraid of change. Maybe you're afraid of making the change, Capricorns, that needs to happen. So we're going to move on to Aquarius then, which is an air sign. And of course, Sun, Moon, and Rising Aquarius may be affected by this reading. So what is the challenge or opportunity for Aquarians? It's Temperance reversed. Aquarians, this should be easy for you, but you might be having a problem with it. Normally you're the person who really can project the idea of being balanced about this, or about being a sense of understanding maybe, multiple sides of a situation. So you yourself may be emotionally uncertain at this time. You may feel that some situations are not quite in balance, emotionally speaking. Somebody or something is spending too much love or emotional support where they don't need to, or maybe where more is needed, they're not. So Aquarians, what is the action required? And once again, we have the Eight of Cups. Little drama there. The Eight of Cups is reversed, though, and this could be saying that what Aquarians need really is to move away from the past to some degree. They're not going to move away totally, but they need to kind of, emotionally speaking, really think about where they want to be. And so applying that to this card, this is saying that maybe there are some situations you can change or affect, but maybe there are some that you can't. And so you still have to decide where you're moving from those. Those may be relationships, those may just be situations or aspects of situations that you can, put aside. And I have a particular person or two in my life who has extreme indignation or argumentation with me from time to time about certain things I do or certain things I don't do. And I've decided that, these are just areas that we don't really have a dialogue, and that maybe, we're friends or situational for other reasons. And it doesn't really take away from that relationship, because you don't have to be best friends in order to love or to work with each other. And Aquarians should know that more than anybody. So just saying that, Aquarians, keep moving ahead because you need to. So finally, we are on Pisces. And Pisces is a water sign like my own, Scorpio. And Pisces, this is the sun, moon, or rising reading for anybody who has those elements. Whoops, don't drop them, don't drop them, don't bend them. This deck is taking a beating lately. I have to be careful. I want it to last. So, Pisces, what is the opportunity or the challenge? I think the opportunity is, and or challenge, is to maybe not overextend yourself, not overextend your energy, emotionally speaking, that maybe some things have to happen in their own time, and that maybe your attempts to further things along may not hit their target correctly. And so this could be talking about somebody who's in the dating game, but it could be talking about, people who have a relationship and feel like something else needs to happen in the relationship. You may have to consider exactly what that timetable is. Not everything has to happen, immediately in a relationship. So this may be about your own sense of challenge too, like maybe in terms of taking a relationship to another level. Maybe this is saying, oh, by the way, honey, I've just accepted a position that puts me in Japan, so we're going to have to sell this house and move the entire family to Tokyo. Well, you can't just do that without necessarily, really planning and talking within the relationship for that. That's an extreme example, but I'm just saying it could be something like that, anything like that. Just maybe a move to a city that's 100 miles away. So what is the action required? And it's the Six of Pentacles, and it's reversed. Well, the action required is that maybe to some degree you have to be realistic. You have to understand that maybe some of these changes have costs that are certainly possibly financial, but maybe go beyond financial. And so the situations that say you can't necessarily hit your target, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe you have to realize that it has to grow in a certain way before it's ready to do that. That there is a sense of building a relationship here of a reciprocal behavior between people. So good luck with that, Pisces. I'm going to let that end there and for the reading. And I'm going to thank everybody for coming to my emotional exchanges again. Don't forget to watch all of our programming, our wonderful programs. We have, of course, the happy hour. It's Saturday. Oh, wait, we're not having it this week. I'm sorry. Because we are at an event. We're at the Arts and Craft, and we like being there. Arts and Crafts for their spring sidewalk sale this Saturday. That's the 25th, and that's tomorrow. And we'll be there from noon to 5 or thereabouts and reading cards like we do on our show, only we are doing it for ourselves as a paid event. And we'll be there with a lot of other readers, and we always have a good time there. It's a great Midwestern, Michigan-based metaphysical pagan witchcraft shop. Arts and craft. All right. So then Sunday, of course, Banshee Show will be here in the morning. And Banshee Show is, of course, the material matters. It's pretty much the economic, financial kind of based corollary to this show. So it's about more like the other things going on in your life that maybe are material matters, your financial keys to success in education, business, and finance. That's 10 a.m. Sunday mornings. And then, of course, Sunday afternoon, we're here live and in person with our regular live stream. And that's from 2 to 4 p.m. All these times are Eastern Standard, by the way. So check us out. Please subscribe. We need to bring up our subscribership. We don't know why, but we've lost a few recently. So we'd love to have you as a subscriber if you are not already. And I guess that's about it. This is Oberon. Once again, thanking you. Don't forget to follow us if you can on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Bluesky, or X, Twitter. All right, everybody. We'll see you again.